Breast enlargement tips. Hello everybody. In this video we will talking about how to make your breasts bigger and bigger without taking risk by surgery. The video quite long, so don't forget to check the description box below to see the tips outline. So you can jump to the tips that you will be interested in. But I recommend you to watch and listen carefully from the beginning, and check the resource links and conclusion again after the end of video, to make sure you will get the correct knowledge and the science behind breast enlargement. Most girls are excited and anxious at the same time when their breasts begin to grow. They ask questions like, will my breasts grow bigger? How big will they get? Or will I have those sexy curves? Some of us even compare breasts, and we often wonder if there's something wrong with ours. Actually, the most important fact to remember is that breast growth can be stimulated by optimizing these three factors. That is, hormones, dieting, and size of chest muscles. Okay, we will start talking about the hormone factor. There are a lot of hormones produced by our bodies, and primarily 4 of those hormones determine the growth of the breasts. Growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, and prolactin. The trouble is that after puberty the levels of these hormones tend to be regulated downwards, so the body is a less conducive environment for the growth of breast tissues. In order to overcome that, if we can somehow recreate the same hormonal condition of our bodies during our primary growth stage, we can actually fool the body to think that it needs to grow breasts again. This is precisely what we learn in this section. But first, let's take a look at how these hormones actually contribute to the growth of breasts. Growth hormones. Growth hormones help control our height and the growth of our bones. Not only that, they also play an important role in the development of breasts. In fact, the relationship between growth hormones and breast development can be summarized like this. The more growth hormones you have, the more your breasts are stimulated to grow larger. To increase the growth hormones in the body, some people resort to taking artificial human growth hormone pills or injections. However, this usually leads to complications and disastrous side effects like visible water retention and ear infections. So, how can we increase the production and release of growth hormone in our body naturally? Here are some tips. Get at least 8 hours of sleep a night. During sleep, human growth hormone is naturally secreted to trigger our body to do its own repair and growth. Exercise. Research shows that human growth hormone levels in the blood will increase with even light exercises. And if you don't eat for at least 2 hours before the exercising, more human growth hormone is actually produced when you exercise. Have healthy levels of stress. Believe it or not, healthy levels of physical or mental stress can actually increase the production of human growth hormone that is secreted by the body. Eat less carbohydrate-rich foods. Research has proven that insulin, or the hormone produced by the body to digest carbohydrates, when we eat carb-rich foods actually suppresses the production of human growth hormone. Here are some carbohydrate-rich foods you to avoid. Potatoes, pasta, rice, and bread. Next, testosterone. Testosterone is the main hormone that makes men. It is the reason why males have leaner bodies with more developed muscles and a deeper voice. That said, testosterone is important to females as well. Generally, more testosterone increases a female's sex drive, but too much of it actually destroys your dreams of big, voluptuous breasts. That is why it is important to make sure our testosterone hormones are maintained at a low level. The trouble is some of us have large amounts of testosterone, so how can you reduce the levels of testosterone in your body? Simply by eating a lot less sugar and refined carbohydrates, or foods which have been processed by machinery. Refined carbohydrates include white rice, pasta made with white flour, and white bread. The reason this works is that excess sugar and refined carbohydrates increases the level of blood sugars, This in turn triggers the natural production of insulin in the body, which then stimulates the ovaries to make androgens, male hormones. By getting blood sugar and insulin levels under control, the testosterone levels will generally go down. Alternatively, you can also try natural herbs for the same effect. Next, estrogen. Estrogen, commonly referred to as the female hormone, is the main contributing factor that makes us women. It is one of the most studied hormones in the female body, and it's responsible for a lot of female things including menstruation and pregnancy. Estrogen is released prior to puberty, which usually begins between the ages of 8 to 13. It is produced by the ovaries after the body has accumulated enough fat cells to trigger it to go into puberty. It is then continually released until the start of the menstrual cycle, which starts at the end of puberty and the beginning of the development of breasts. Estrogen is an important hormone, especially when it comes to breast size, because one of its main functions is to develop the growth of breasts. Because of that, some women think that by increasing estrogen levels in the body will also increase breast size. Big mistake. The body can only utilize so much estrogen at a time. By increasing the level of estrogen in the body, it just means that more of it will go to waste. After a while, the body will just return estrogen levels back to normal levels. So the key is not to have higher levels of estrogen, but instead to have a more balanced level. In fact, studies show that women who have rising and falling levels of estrogen actually prevent the full development of their potential breast size. The last one is prolactin. Prolactin helps regulate the level of estrogen in the body, and it also promotes fat storage and growth of the breasts. Prolactin is normally only produced during puberty and pregnancy. However, the good news is that you can easily stimulate your body to produce more of it by eating some specific foods that are high in natural estrogen. Why? Simply because its production is triggered by a higher level of estrogen. You can also consider taking more soya and yam roots, but in moderation. These foods are naturally high in estrogen. Okay, we already know which hormones will influence our progress to have bigger breast. So, how we can reproduce these hormones? Fortunately, you can use natural herbs to influence your hormone levels. Herbs are special plants with medicinal properties, and they are nature's best solution for almost everything, including increasing breast sizes. Some people find it difficult to accept herbal medicines as a form of a realistic solution. But they should realize that as much as 80% of the supplements and medications we have today are created with the help of herbal extracts. Just like medicine, different herbs bring about different effects to our body. Let's look at the top 3 herbs that can stimulate the growth of breast tissue by influencing hormone levels. They are red clover, fenugreek, and saw palmetto. Let me share with you how each of these herbs work. Firstly, red clover. This herb primarily helps by increasing the estrogen level in the body. The best thing about this herb is that it acts as a 2-in-1 herb. It not only raises estrogen levels, but it also indirectly blocks higher levels of testosterone. The amount to be used should not be more than 3,000 milligrams per day. It's usually available in 400 to 500 milligram capsules. If you are taking other phytoestrogens, plant estrogens, this recommended dosage must be reduced. That being said, you will notice later on that this intake level is similar, and must be kept that way, to saw palmetto intake levels, one of the other herbs I'll be introducing you to later. That's because both of these herbs work hand in hand with each other. Their dosages should be 1,000 milligrams, 3 times a day for each of the herbs. These should be taken either prior to meals or on an empty stomach. Possible side effects include swelling, soreness, and/or itching in the breast area. Next is fenugreek. Fenugreek is usually used for the seeds and sprouts, and this is one of the key ingredients in Lydia pinkham's vegetable compound, which has been popular in providing relief to menstrual and menopausal symptoms. And because of its breast-enhancing properties, fenugreek is one of the active ingredients commonly used in commercially available breast enhancement products. If you are wondering how it works, let me explain. This herb contains diosgenin, a chemical that forms a semi-synthetic form of estrogen, which naturally increases bust size. It is not only good for helping you increase your breast size, fenugreek can also be used as a topical agent to get rid of skin inflammation, boils, and eczema. But instead of just consuming this herb in the typical methods, when using it for any skin issues, you need to apply fenugreek directly to your skin topically. Here's how. First, place a spoonful of fenugreek into a grinder or blender, and pulverize it until it turns to powder. Next, mix the fenugreek powder with a spoonful of warm water, then take a small, clean piece of cloth and soak it in the mixture. Finally, just put the moistened cloth over the affected skin, and hold it there for a few minutes. Utilizing fenugreek as an herbal topical agent applied to the skin is proven useful by the research of two natural product pharmacists, also known as pharmacognosists. They discovered that 68 of 255 plants that are used as traditional galactagogues, a substance that promotes the flow and secretion of breast milk, should be applied as topical agent. They have published this in their book entitled Higher Plants as potential sources of galactagogues that you can read for additional information if desired. The last herb is soap palmetto. While soap palmetto does not directly increase levels of estrogen, it helps by reducing the level and effects of testosterone, which inhibits the growth of breast tissue. To reduce your testosterone levels, you may want to consider taking soap palmetto up to the maximum dosage recommended, which is 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams per day, while you are attempting to increase your bust size. This herb usually comes in 400-500 milligram capsules, and you might want to try taking it slowly at first and then work your way up to taking the maximum dosage once you are sure your body is responding appropriately to soap palmetto. You might also want to take it without other herbs for a few weeks and then add in the other phytoestrogen only, if you do not experience any discomfort after the trial period. Safety precautions when using herbs. Herbal medications have been used for centuries for healing and medicinal purposes. However, just like any other substance, you do not want to take them in excessive amounts. And although herbs do not usually cause adverse effects, there are some things to consider before using them. The first and the most important thing to do when you plan on taking any medication, natural herbs or otherwise, is to check with your physician first, especially if you have any underlying health conditions such as diabetes, pregnancy, mental illness, etc. Do not take more than the recommended amounts. Some people believe that since something is a natural or herbal remedy, it will be safe to take in whatever amount or quantity desired. But this is not true. Any substance used to treat medical issues may have adverse effects if more than the suggested amount is taken. Check if you are allergic to any herb you are considering. Sometimes people face different allergy problems, so if you are allergic to any plants or natural substances, it's best to check with your physician first, in order to determine if it's safe for you to consider taking. These are natural herbs that you can use for influence your hormone levels. But if you feel it's hard to find or hard to prepare or consume, you may need to search for existing supplement out there. One of them that I can recommend is Breast Actives. How it works. Breast Actives is a two-step natural enhancement system that uses only all-natural ingredients. Combined with our one-of-a-kind breast enhancement exercise program, can help you develop the shapely curves you're after. Step 1. Ingest 1 pill every day with a glass of water, before or after your first meal. Step 2. Place a small amount of cream on the fingertips and massage thoroughly on breasts each morning, or as recommended by your skincare professional. What is the benefit of Breast Actives? Larger breast. The most obvious benefit: breast enhancement via augmentation. Enhance breast size, can create a sense of wholeness and vibrance. Shapelier breast. Breast enhancement can improve the shape of your breasts, combating sagging and giving a more youthful and attractive contour of each breast. Better clothing fit. Many of Breast Active's clients report that they enjoy going shopping after their breast enhancement, because they love the way all types of clothes fit, look, and feel. Enhanced confidence in swimwear. This is a big benefit that many new breast enhancement customers will have fun with. And improved social confidence. Women with enhanced figures often find that they are naturally more confident during social interactions, and enjoy a boost in self-image that is very helpful for meeting new people. Breast Actives offers women a fast-acting, effective treatment guaranteed to produce more enhanced breasts without the risks of surgery such as scars or physical reaction to the artificial breast implants. Beware the fake or copycat products. They will not help you, and also waste your hard-earned money. Check the resource links in description box below to go to genuine vendor and you will see exactly what I said. Recently, we talking about how to influence our hormone levels. Next we will talking about how to massage your breasts to encourage tissue growth. Breast massage is one of the best ways to help shape, tone, and promote growth of breast tissues. They have been used in beauty and massage parlors, especially in Asia, to promote breast growth and to stimulate healing and tissue regeneration for women who have undergone breast surgeries or cancer treatments. Many women have commented that massaging their breasts not only brings them closer to their femininity, it also helps them relax at the same time. In this chapter, I'd like to share some tips on breast massage techniques. Are you ready? Here we go. Step number 1. Gently push your nipples downwards using your first 3 fingers. Remember not to apply extreme pressure. Simply move your fingers slowly, and you can do this in graceful or sensual manner if you like. Repeat a few times. Step number 2. Knead your breasts. This is done by holding your left breast like a bowl using your both hands and then compressing your hands. Make sure you're comfortable and don't exert too much pressure. You shouldn't feel any pain. Once done with the left breast, repeat the process on your right breast. Step number 3. This involves the same process as kneading. However, the difference is that this time the movement of your hands should be done in rotating motions. Do this using minimal but even and sustained pressure for 10 times each breast. Step number 4. Firm up your breasts by placing your hands over each of your breasts, without covering the nipples, and then push downward. Make sure you don't cover the nipples. Continue rubbing the side of breast at least 10 times each. Do you still unsure how to do it? We include some examples from another YouTubers who already upload their explanation video to YouTube. Just check the resource link below to get more detail. Breast boosting exercise. Bench press. Most people think that bench presses are for men, but that is simply not true. The truth is this exercise is the most effective one for tightening the pectoral and chest muscles, which then pushes your breasts outwards. When doing this exercise, you need to make sure that you bring the bar all the way down to your chest before pushing it back up. The most effective way to do this is to push it further down to your nipples as you go. Doing this exercise in 3 sets of 7 to 12 reps works well. Just make sure the weight of the bar is in the higher range of your comfort zone, but also doesn't strain your back and other muscles too much. Now that you have already learned the different techniques to increase the size of your breasts, the next question might be, how can you keep your breast size larger once they grow? In general, it only involves 3 things. 1. Accomplishing the recommended breast massaging. 2. Eating natural breast enhancement foods like soya and yam roots, while avoiding processed foods at the same time. 3. Completing the suggested chest exercises. Don't forget to check the resources in the description box below. We summarize the detail there. The key is consistency. Plan exercise routine, plan the nutrient that you will intake, and usually do breast massaging. You will see the results soon without taking risk by surgery. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, so you will get health tips updates direct to your news feed. Hope you're lucky, have bigger breast, and thanks for watching.